I've been having these weird thoughts lately. Like, is any of this for real? Or not?
To say Kingdom Hearts was a big deal on release is an enormous understatement. If someone told you the guys who made Final Fantasy were teaming up with Disney to make an action game, you'd stay away from that person and probably call the police. But it was true, and it instantly stole the hearts. Yeah, you get it? You get it? You get it? Yeah? You will. Of anyone who gave it a try. A perfect blend of the imaginative whimsy and charm of Disney with the edge and drama of Final Fantasy. More than 20 years later, the franchise continues, but today, specifically, I'm here to take a look at the beginning with Kingdom Hearts 1. Now, I said this released 20 years ago, and honestly, it's probably been close to that long since I played this. I have a lot more memories of the second game compared to the first, but thanks to the entire franchise getting a release on Steam, I'll be playing the final mix version, something I've never done before. I decided to play Proud Mode because I'm an adult and I'm not scared of baby game difficulty. With that out of the way, we arrive. One of the coolest tutorial areas you'll ever see. Something I want to get out of the way nice and early is the downright gorgeous overall aesthetic that Kingdom Hearts has. From the art, the sound design, the music, all of it. I've only just begun and I'm already pissed off at how good this all is. Not a single spoken line of dialogue is uttered throughout this entire tutorial section. Only a disembodied, silent voice guiding me with haunting music to accompany. Everyone has their special something that screams Kingdom Hearts to them. For me, this is it right here. Gigantic stained glass platforms featuring various Disney princesses acting as a beacon of light amongst a never-ending sea of darkness. I swear the game is trying to tell me something. Anyway, now that I've sufficiently jerked this game, we can move on. The game's going to start soon, I promise. During the tutorial, I'm given several choices, what weapon I want to take and what one I want to discard, as well as a personality quiz. Nobody I've ever spoken to has told me that they understood what any of this meant as a kid, but these choices have a massive impact on your playthrough. The weapon choice determines your starting stats and item slots. It also affects the abilities you learn from leveling up. The questions determine your leveling pace. Choosing all of the top answers will have you leveling very quickly for the first 50 or so levels, but much slower in the last half. Middle is a balanced pace between all of them, and the bottom choices will have you level slower initially, but you'll speed up past halfway. Luckily for me, I'm not a stupid child, I'm a stupid adult, so I chose the shield and sacrificed the staff instead of the sword, which is the better choice. I also chose to level slower at first and speed up for the end game. Anyway, I beat up a giant shadow, got swallowed by evil, and woke up on a beach. Sora, that's us, talks to Kairi about their plan to leave the island to see other worlds. Riku rounds off this trio. I hated this kid 20 years ago, and I still do. He's the dark, brooding older brother type, looking out for the little kids of the island. Kairi is... The kids are building a raft to leave because an island paradise and parents who love them isn't enough. While I gather supplies, I butcher the other children in sparring matches and never lost to Riku, not even once. While Riku ponders the meaning of life whilst having the personality of a drawer full of kitchen knives, we get our first introduction to Donald.
Good morning, Your Majesty. It's nice to see you this one. What?
Turns out King Mickey has gone missing, or more specifically, he's run off on us. Meanwhile, back at Paradise, we argue with Riku over the name of our boat. I don't think he's too jazzed about my suggestion. We resolve the issue with a race. I win, the SS Riku smells is born. On a side note, leave a comment and tell me what your ship is called. The best one will win 1 billion Mickey coins.
Who's there?
I've come to see the door to this world.
Huh?
This world has been connected.
Well, what are you talking about?
Tied to the darkness. Soon to be completely eclipsed.
Well, whoever you are, stop freaking me out like this. Huh? Well, where did you come from?
You do not yet know what lies beyond the door.
So you're from another world.
There is so very much to learn. You understand so little.
Oh yeah? Well, you'll see. I'm gonna get out and learn what's out there.
A meaningless effort. One who knows nothing can understand nothing.
This kid has the survival instincts of cardboard. Later on, Kairi hints that she wants to ditch Riku because she's not cardboard, while Donald and Goofy are tasked to find the key, the GOAT, in order to assist King Mickey. They take off in the best part of the game, the Gummy ship, but we'll get to that soon, don't worry. Sora's impeccable survival instincts kick in, so he travels out to the island during a storm to save their raft. The whole place is under attack, and my wooden sword is not helping. I track down Riku, who has decided 3 kids on a raft is in fact a bad idea. Much better to risk it all and be swallowed by a large, mysterious dark mass. Sora tries to save the sharp object, but fails. Then, when all hope seemed lost... Keyblade!
Keyblade!
God, it's the Keyblade.
Yo, is that the Keyblade?
You saw nothing. Alright? You saw nothing. The Keyblade is a certified classic. Yes, it's kinda dumb. No, that grip doesn't look comfortable. And no, you don't hit with the part that has all the spiky, meaning this is more of a key bat. But none of that matters, because it's cool, and that's all you need for a good fantasy weapon. I get my rematch with Tall, Dark, and Handsy, but beating him doesn't matter as we're sucked up anyway. About time too, because I don't remember the introduction taking anywhere near this long. Still, it's better than some other beginnings.
What a dream.
I meet Sid, our friendly shopkeep, and then watch as a man's life is taken before my fragile eyes. With my innocence now gone, this actual adult decides to attack me, a child, with a bladed firearm. Despite having more ball hair than me, I still win. Upon waking up, I am formally introduced to my assailant, Leon, and his accomplices Yuffie and Eris. Let's see how many I piss off with that one. I promise, the game is starting soon. They explain that I've been chosen by the Keyblade to fight the Heartless, creatures that prey on the darkness in people's hearts and are spreading through various worlds. The conversation is interrupted by one of the pleasant little darkness dwellers, and while chasing them off, I finally run into Donald and Goofy. Alright, I guess now's a good time to go over combat. You mash the X button and hit enemies. There, that's combat. Okay, so there is more. You've got a menu on the side that you have to interact with in real time. This means that going in to use a potion might get you killed if you're not careful. There are other options like magic, but we don't have any of that just yet. We'll get there eventually. When enemies die, though, they leave behind various little goodies to pick up. That's right, this is a pick things up off the ground kind of game. Green orbs that recover health, money, MP restoring bubbles, and the occasional lucky item or so. After taking care of the small fry, our first real boss, I think, is a giant armored Rayman. I'm making Rayman references during a Kingdom Hearts 1 video. If you're still watching, you're either morbidly curious about relics of the past, or you're sitting in a retirement home typing angry comments about Donald being dead mere moments into this encounter. A trend that will continue for the entire playthrough, don't worry. The gang properly introduce themselves, and I can't lie, it's very cool seeing this iconic trio meeting each other again for the first time.
But you can't come along looking like that. Understand?
Ooh.
No frowning, no sad face, okay?
Yeah, you gotta look funny, like us. Whoa.
Yes, but ones on happy faces.
For some reason, my kid memory told me that Donald was a massive dick to Sora right from the start, but he genuinely tries to cheer up this kid he's known for a few minutes. This bird's alright, but enough with the nice stuff. Where are the bad guys?
That little squirt took down that Heartless. Who'd have thought it?
Such is the power of the Keyblade. The child's strength is not his own.
Why don't we turn him into a Heartless? Ha ha ha! That'll settle things quick enough.
And the brat's friends are the king's lackeys. Slug on the ice, they're all bilge rats by the look of them. You're no prize yourself. Shut up!
Enough! The Keyblade has chosen him. Will it be he who conquers the darkness? Or will the darkness swallow him? Either way, he could be quite useful.
I'm not kidding when I tell you I was temporarily left speechless after this scene because I had completely forgotten that all of these villains, and by extension almost the entire Disney cast, have their original voice actors reprising their roles. Catherine Beaumont came back to voice Alice 50 years after the movie released. I don't think it can be overstated how impressive of a cast this game truly has. Hold on, does that say Sean Astin is Hercules in this game? Alright, give me a second. This isn't even part of the script, but I'm leaving it in if this is true, because there is actually no way, right? Oh my god, it is! Samwise Gamgee himself, the OG Goonie, is voicing Hercules in Kingdom Hearts 1. That's insane! Before we're free to run off and save the world, Donald teaches us how to use magic. But just fire it first. There's also a pretty handy little menu that lets you customize how Donald and Goofy behave, adjusting the frequency of their actions and how aggressive or defensive you want them to be. For Donald, this hardly matters because he'll be a feathered stain on the floor most of the time. With Goof and Don, I can now use the Trinity symbols that are scattered all over the place, but only the blue ones for now. Depending on the color, these can do a lot of different things, but the blue ones usually mean treasure. Now we can finally leave Traverse Town and save other worlds. The game has started, but traveling from one world to another isn't as simple as selecting it, hitting go, and pow, you're there. No, that'd be too easy. We gotta fly there in our Gummy ship. Yeah, I don't know anyone who loves these sections. There's an entire big old system dedicated to the Gummy ship. While flying, enemies and objects will drop blocks for you to collect that can be used to customize and build new ships. It's Lego in space. It gets fairly deep too, with blueprints and later a shop that sells parts to you, and who knows, maybe this time I'll actually learn how the Gummy system works and build my very own custom battle ship. I won't. I know me, I won't. Wonderland. Oh, how exciting. I arrive, I talk to a door, then I drink something that tastes like a cold dip in the pool. I shrunk. I'm gonna be honest with you. I got a little lost in Wonderland, which is saying a lot because the whole world is like 3 or 4 rooms. Like, seriously, it's not very big at all. Anyway, once I pushed the bed into the wall, I was free to leave and meet Alice.
Court is now in session!
I'm on trial? But why?
This girl is the culprit. There's no doubt about it. And the reason is... because I say so, that's why!
Hey guys, we should help her out.
Yeah, but
We're outsiders, so wouldn't that be muddling?
muddling.
Oh, yeah. And that's against the rules.
Off with her head!
No! Oh, please!
Hold it right there!
Pow, bam, zowie, just like that, I'm a detective. Gotta find all the evidence to help Alice prove her innocence. In the next room, I find these flowers that want items from me, give them what they want, get something better in return. There's 2 flowers who want ethers. I don't have any on me, but I know the shop back at Traverse Town has them.
This should help.
Not Worth. A few more puzzles involving inflation later, and I've picked up all the evidence we need, as well as the very cool Blizzard spell. Rather than have all the evidence be presented, the Queen wants us to choose one box, and whatever is inside will determine the fate of Alice. So the more evidence that you found, the better. I don't think I've ever seen this guessing game backfire, but if it can, let me know. The Queen is understandably upset that she doesn't get to decapitate a small child, but then suddenly remembers she makes all the rules and proceeds with the topping anyway. Smash the tower in the middle and the fight is over. Hooray! We saved Al. Funny Cat gives indirect advice and then... Behold! Boss fight. Now, I don't know whether it's because of how long it's been since I played this, the difficulty setting, the boss's awkward hurt box, the fact that it's early game and I don't have any real skills yet, or the fact that Donald keeps fucking dying before he can be any use or contribute even a little bit. But this guy was pretty tough. I brute force my way through this damage sponge the way the good King Mickey would have wanted. We then discover the door has a keyhole, because of course it does. But this is a very special hole. It's the keyhole for the world itself, and by locking it using our Keyblade, we can save it from the Heartless. But still, no Alice. Truly, she has been kidnapped, probably by the foul forces of evil. The poor girl must be terrified. Who knows what atrocities she's being subjected to. Is that Tarzan's world? Tarzan is my favorite Disney movie I haven't seen since I was 10. Donald continues to prove his usefulness and we crash land. Separated from the goat, I'm immediately attacked by the local wildlife before being rescued by the local wildlife.
I'm looking for my friends Riku and Kairi.
Look for Riku. Friends.
Right.
Kairi. Friends.
Right.
Sora has begun hallucinating girls, so we can assume the concussion is proceeding nicely.
Tarzan. Tarzan. Go.
And I'm Sora. Tarzan go, Sora go.
To all three girls watching this right now, yes, guys do befriend each other that easily. One of the coolest parts about the Kingdom Hearts games is they let you recruit the titular characters from whatever world you're on to assist you in combat. They're normally pretty good too, being a higher level with a lot of learned skills, but because you can only have 2 other teammates at any given time, you have to bench someone. Don't worry though, your party members keep getting experience even when they're sitting on the sidelines. This is something that Kid Me often worried about. Having said that, you'll probably still see me using Don and Goofy so I can hit up the Trinity marks when I come across them, something that only the normal trio can do. The jungle itself is a pretty cool world. I've even got the Tarzan signature tree surfing here. Once I arrive at the camp, I meet Jane and get reunited with the Disney duo. Oh, and Clayton is here too. He seems cool. Got a big neck. While exploring the jungle, I find a chest full of puppies because of course. Turns out 99 of the 101 Dalmatians have gone missing. Luckily for us, you find them 3 at a time. I just hope the reward is worth it. We take Big T. That's my new name for Tarzan. You wouldn't get it. You see, it's a best friend thing because me and him are like besties. To see his gorilla daddy, who doesn't seem interested in the outsiders at all. Is it the duck? It's the duck, right? He doesn't like the duck. Damn it, Donald. Over at the treehouse, Clayton almost shoots Gorilla Rosie O'Donnell, and everyone disliked that.
What am I doing with these imbeciles? Blasted gorillas! I'll hunt down every last one of them! I'll track them down somehow.
Boy, he really wants to shoot gorillas. I mean, at this point it must be a sexual thing, right? Monkey Heartless! Kinda nice that the Heartless consider gorillas as worthwhile targets for stealing hearts, you know? Like, of all the things they could go after, they're going after the gorillas. Good for them, you know? Anyway, I've got to do a victory lap of the world and save the gorillas. I even get my rematch with the big kitty, bludgeoning it to death with my keybat. Now, you know, Sabor here wasn't a Heartless, at least I don't think so. So, has Sora just killed a wild animal that was doing its own thing, just minding its own business, being a wild animal? Maybe Clayton isn't the only poacher on this world. Speaking of Clayton, the gorillas are safe, Jane is safe, so it's time to go brag about our kill.
Not Clayton. Not Clayton.
You know, this might be the most chilling line in the entire game. Over here we have Tarzan, a monkey man who can barely communicate with humans, and yet he manages to squeeze out 2 words. 2 words full of so much dread that it keeps me awake at night, shivering in my jammies, wondering, if not Clayton, then who is it?
Deep freeze!
Goodbye!
Is anyone surprised? Seriously, show of hands, is anyone surprised that frame 1 Donald just got shot to death? Anyone? No? Good. Okay, so hear me out for a second. Clayton is a hunter. He wants to hunt big game. He has come here specifically to hunt gorillas. But in the process of doing this, he has discovered and is riding on a gargantuan, ultra-powered chameleon. I got that right? Yeah? That's what I understand? Yeah? Alright. It's definitely a sexual thing, man. It has to be a sexual thing. Now that man with gun has been taken care of, I make my way to this world's keyhole, do the deed, and pick up a new toy for my trouble. Okay, it's time for an embarrassing confession. I distinctly remember as a kid, for whatever reason, I just had no idea that I could change the Keyblade. I just assumed that's it, there it is, that's the Keyblade, we use that for the whole game. It was at least 2 worlds after Deep Jungle that I realized my mistake and started using other versions. This is a big secret that I've kept to myself all this time, so let's just keep it between you and me, okay? Anyway, while I was telling you about my secret, I flew all the way back to Traverse Town. Wow, right? I learned how to activate Red Trinity signs so I can head into the secret sewer where Leon and company tell me to talk to Sid. But before I go, he gives me a special item. Sid tells me that the special gummies that we've been finding along the way might be keys to get to other worlds. He's down to help, but first needs me to play errand boy and go deliver a book to Merlin. The book doesn't matter too much for now, but the bell at the Gizmo shop is also suddenly ringing. On top of the building, I pop another Red Trinity, giving me access to the bell. A few tugs on this bad boy reveals a keyhole. Before I can slip the lock, a little bit of this keyblade, a familiar face gets in my way. But this time, his feet are his hands and his hands are his feet. I don't really know how this gives any tactical advantage, but oh. Oh. Oh.
Donald! Come on!
I slam the lock and race over to Merlin to give him the book and talk to the fairy godmother about the item Leon gave me. Turns out the item is a dormant summon which she awakens for me. I can use summons in combat for various effects, but I'll still forget to use them, just you watch. Then, as I'm leaving...
Hey Sora, it's me, Riku. I've come to rescue you, as always. Check it out, I have a cool sword made of darkness. Remember how I said I wasn't scared of the dark? Yeah, that was cool, huh? Oh, Kairi isn't with you? Figures, I'll have to go save her too. Wait, what's that? A Keyblade? You're the chosen one, and these guys are friends? Ooh, I hate this newfound independence you've got. I need to be needed, otherwise I'm nothing. Boo-hoo. I'm gonna hide and pretend I never found you. I'm gonna listen to this
very evil lady
who is telling me lies instead of communicating to you like a reasonable person. Embrace the dark, baby.
Back at the shop, we catch Pinocchio stealing and lying. Such vile behavior from the puppet. Why, next I bet he's gonna have impure thoughts about the fairy. He's been separated from his father, so it's up to us to find him. Eventually. Right now, it's tournament time. Thanks to the new warp drive, we can save ourselves a gummy section. Inside the Coliseum, Phil is getting ready for the game. I failed to push the big heavy block, so that's it. My dreams of competing for glory in the arena shattered.
Rather a stubborn old goat, wouldn't you say?
Who are you?
Oh, hey, hold on there, Fuzzboy. Wait, let me guess. You want to enter the games, right? Well then, hey, get a load of this.
A pass?
It's all yours. Good luck, kid. I'm pulling for you, little shorty.
I'm pulling for you, little shorty is insane. Thanks to this very kind, hot-headed man, I can now enter the game. The Coliseum tournaments have you battle through waves of increasingly difficult fights. Your health and mana aren't restored between rounds, so conserving your resources for harder fights can help. Alright, while I have the chance, I want to say I love his design. I know there's plenty of people out there who hate this, and I get it. Don't get me wrong, I get it, I understand why. But my argument to that is, I don't care. Giving him Vincent's cape and claw adds the perfect amount of cringy, edgy teen angst, and the Bandage Buster sword was something I wished I could get for myself.
That little punk is your next opponent, okay? Now don't blow it. Just take him out.
The great god of the underworld is afraid of a kid? Sorry, but my contract says...
I know! You think I don't know? I wrote the contract! I know it says you're only required to kill Hercules in this tournament. But you gotta fight that kid to get to him. Come on. Hey, it's like that old goat says. Rule number 11. It's all just a game. So let loose and have fun with it. I mean, a casualty or two along the way. It's no big deal, right? Jeez. Stiffer than the stiffs back home. Still, suckers like him are hard to come by.
That's the best you can do?
It's time. Cloud himself, one of the most popular and enduring protagonists in RPG history, charged by the god of the underworld to kill me in Coliseum combat. It's going to take everything I've learned and a truckload of consumables to barely stand a chance against. Oh. Wait, what? What do you mean the fight's over? I remember Cloud being a pretty tough... Oh no, Cloud, quick! Use Omnislash! Sean Sam Gam Aston steps in to stop Cerberus, but I refuse to let him take all the glory, so I race back in to confront the guard dog of the underworld. This fight also feels a bit easier than I expected. I think the problem is I was able to come here and do this before going to Tarzan's world, the Deep Jungle. So maybe that's why? With enough blunt force trauma to the heads, Cerberus goes down. Phil declares us junior heroes, and outside, Cloud is waiting.
Hey, are you alright?
Yeah.
So, why did you go along with him anyway?
I'm looking for someone. Hades promised to help. I tried to exploit the power of darkness, but it backfired. I fell into darkness, and I couldn't find the light.
You'll find it. I'm searching too.
For your light? Don't lose sight of it.
How about a rematch sometime? Fair and square, no dark powers involved.
I think I'll pass.
He's so stupid and edgy. I hate how much I like it. He also gives us our very first offensive skill, Sonic Blade, because it worked so well for him. Phil said the games were on hold, but by the time I got back in my ship, the game... For conquering the Phil Cup, I'm awarded Gravity Magic, which is actually my favorite type of magic in anything. I also got Cure and Arrow from the earlier worlds, but forgot to mention them until now. Cure is the go-to heal spell that basically takes over most playthroughs as the best use of magic. Arrow, on the other hand, is actually the best use of magic, because it halves the damage you take while it's active. Busted when used right. Gravity is functionally the demi-spell from Final Fantasy, cutting a percentage of the enemy's health off, so really good against beefy boys. Time to head off to a whole new world. Hey look, a dangerous anomaly in space. Let's fly through it? Whoa!
And the keyhole?
The Heartless are searching for it now.
Jafar, I've looked everywhere for Jasmine. She's disappeared like magic.
You said you had things under control.
But why worry about Princess Jasmine?
We need all 7 princesses of heart to open the final door. Any fewer is useless.
Well, if the princess is that important, we'll find her.
I get jumped the moment I set foot in Agrabah. I traveled through the cold vacuum of space only to set foot on the hot sands of wrong neighborhood, kiddo. I climbed up into Aladdin's house where I freed the magic carpet. He takes off into the desert. Don't worry, I'll catch up to him later. First, I had to find Princess Jasmine, who hides about as well as a diamond in the rough. To my shock, Jafar shows up. He's like actually searching the city for her, like personally. He's walking around. He sets some goons on me, but once they're taken care of, I do the smart thing and ignore the princess and head out to the desert. The carpet takes me to Aladdin, who, despite all of his street smarts, is slowly drowning in quicksand. I fight off some Heartless, who are probably only there to take bets on how long it'll take Al to die. Then he just stands up in the middle of quicksand, rubs out Big Blue, and wishes the Heartless away. Generational hater right here for sure. Instead of wishing to be taken to safety, something like, you know, get me out of this desert, he wishes the bozos eradicated. While introductions kick off and the genie explains how the lamp works, I wanted to point out how insanely underused it is here. The genie can grant 3 wishes to whoever has the lamp. He has limitations, but nothing that would stop the gang from just wishing away most of their problems. Kairi, found. Maleficent, gone. Riku, deceased? No? My point is, you could have Sora, Don, and Goof pass the lamp around and use 9 wishes to resolve basically everything. In the middle of my lamp rant, we suddenly remembered that Jasmine is still being hunted. Whoops, back to Agrabah we go.
Setting your sights a little high, aren't you, boy? Back to your hole, street rat. I will not allow you to trouble the princess anymore.
Jasmine!
I'm so sorry, Aladdin.
Genie, help Jasmine, please.
1 wish left. You're making this really easy, you know?
So sorry, boy. I'm afraid your second wish has been denied.
Huh?
One of the worst wishes of all time. Of all time, truly an ass wish. So Jasmine was dropped into one of those pots with legs, right? There's clearly some sort of creature inside, and I would expect a lot more screaming coming from her, but she's handling it very well. The fight here is, it's alright, I guess. It's a bit annoying because this centipede boss thing just runs all over the place, but the real pain is what comes next. The Cave of Wonders. Now this is torture. Jasmine was taken inside, so we gotta get in, but the cave is all corrupted and evil and stuff, so we gotta fight. A lot of people hate this, and for good reason. It shoots homing lasers from its eyes, which on its own are simple enough to avoid, but the real issue is that it regularly spits out enemies, and your main window to deal damage to the head is just after he does this. He lowers his head down to the ground, letting you get up and hit the eyes. You can stay on his nose as he lifts his head back up, but actually hitting the eyes from here isn't very easy. The problem with this is also that you haven't dealt with the enemies that got spat out in the first place, and if you do decide to kill them first, chances are the head is already lifted back up before you're done killing them. So leaving the enemies means if you fall off the head, which you will eventually, you have a lot of enemies chasing you, plus the homing lasers. Also, it's pretty likely that while you're on the head, your teammates got picked off by the enemies and the lasers. It's just a bit of a mess really, and the sooner it's over, the better. The inside of the cave itself is a bit confusing at first. There's an upstairs area and a downstairs that's flooded with water. There's gems you can touch to open new pathways and a few platforming puzzle sections. There's a bit more to this place, but I don't like it, so too bad.
He is more persistent than I expected. Why not explain the situation to that boy Riku? Doing so may actually prove useful to our...
Wait a second, are you Maleficent?
Jafar, let Jasmine go!
Not a chance. You see, she's a princess. One of 7 who somehow hold the key to opening the door.
Open?
The door?
But you fools won't live to see what lies beyond it. Genie, my second wish, crush them!
Genie, no!
Sorry, Al.
Genie flies around lazily trying to hit you while Jafar casts spells. It's not a hard fight, but it can linger because Jaffe likes to fly away a lot. I also messed up a bit because it seems Jafar will put on a shield and attack in close range if you hit him with magic. If you don't hit him with magic, he'll keep running away. Jafar then makes his very own dum-dum wish and becomes a genie, but rather than use any of his phenomenal cosmic power, he throws very slow molten rock balls and swings his arms, I think. You just chase Iago and hit the lamp the entire time, so honestly, I wasn't paying much attention to Jafar in this. Big Red is dead, I blow up the keyhole, and I'm gone. Aladdin then frees the genie, who tags along with us anyway as our new summon so he can help save Jasmine, who was kidnapped during the Jafar fight. Meanwhile, back at the Sinister Sanctum, Riku is revealed to be the one who swiped Jasmine, and probably Alice as well. He seems to be doing this so he can rescue Kairi, so it's one of those doing a bad thing for a good reason kind of deals. God, he's just such an insufferable little... Anyway, new Keyblade. It hits harder than the jungle one, but it has less reach. We'll see how it goes for now. With Agrabah done, I also learned how to use the green trinities, which let the gang pile up to reach high places. Shout out to Goofy's back, there is truly nothing he can't carry. The Green Trinity back at Sid's shop also opens up the top floor, giving me access to item synthesis, basically item crafting. I throw together some new accessories that boost my MP generously, and even give the boys some new weapons of their own. Check it out, I made a new custom Gummy ship. I told you I would. It's the first time I've ever done this. Do you like? Yeah? It is very fast and very powerful. The only problem is it doesn't exactly shoot in a straight line. I've got to replace the guns. Pull it to starboard, boy! Pull it to starboard, boy! That giant whale is about to inhale! Ah! Inside Monstro, vored by a giant flying space whale. Absolutely incredible. Pinocchio and Geppetto are found inside, of course. How Pinocchio managed to get here is beyond me, but he decides to run off even deeper into the guts of the accursed whale. While trying to retrieve the sentient firewood, Riku! He acts like a girl playing hard to get before kidnapping again. This whole area can be a bit confusing because everything looks the same. Thankfully, it's not a particularly large place, despite the fact that it's a whale. It just has a lot of doors that can lead you in circles. Going the wrong way can still take you to some treasures, so fully exploring this place is pretty worthwhile. I track down the firewood thief just in time for him to loosen his grip and let Pinocchio run off and be captured by a giant intestinal parasite. Riku says we should team up for the fight, but he spends most of the time on the sidelines shouting nonsense at me. The fight itself, well, I'm gonna let you see for yourself.
Don't give up! Get me out of here! Don't give up! Don't give up!
Despite our efforts, Pinocchio is still snatched up by Riku, claiming that the puppet might be useful in restoring someone's heart, meaning Kairi. But enough of that, we've got high jump, yippee! The high jump does exactly what it says on the tin, and now I can reach spots I couldn't before, like the upper doorway leading to...
Hey! Let Pinocchio go, Riku!
A puppet that's lost its heart to the heartless. Maybe it holds the key to helping Kairi. How about it, Sora? Let's join forces to save her. We can do it together. What? You'd rather fight me? Over a puppet that has no heart?
Heart or no heart, at least he still has a conscience.
Conscience?
You might not hear it, but right now it's loud and clear. And it's telling me you're on the wrong side.
Then you leave me no choice.
Pinocchio! Pinocchio!
Jiminy, I'm not gonna make it. Oh, I guess I'm okay.
Coward. Another parasite boss fight. Ooh, I'm so excited. I actually hated this fight. The boss itself is surrounded by a pool of gastric juice that hurts you if you step into it. So initially I tried to stand my ground and repeat the same guard strat I did before, but this time the boss has a few extra hits he's throwing in, and I'm not sure if I just got lucky the first time or not, but I swear he's attacking faster. So much so that even after guarding a few of these hits, there's no window to counterattack his head. It drags the fight down to an absolute crawl, so I decided to use my environment and climb the platforms for an easier time reaching his noggin. But this is just as time consuming, and it encourages the boss to use his breath attack, which hits pretty hard. In the end, magic once again was my friend. Turns out gravity does respectable damage and staggers the boss. The giant bug finally goes down.
So, Kairi's like a lifeless puppet now?
Precisely.
And her heart was...
Taken by the heartless, no doubt.
Tell me, what can I do?
There are 7 maidens of the purest heart. We call them the Princesses of Heart. Gather them together, and a door will open to the heart of all worlds. Within lies untold wisdom. There you will surely find a way to recover Kairi's heart. Now, I'll grant you a marvelous gift. The power to control the Heartless.
Soon, Kairi. Soon.
He was just told the Heartless have taken Kairi's heart, and then Maleficent gives him the power to control them. I can't tell if he's just really stupid or stupid with a side of fries. I walk back to Traverse Town to restock my supplies and check out the synthesis options. When I try to leave... What? No. Oh, me. With my new rage buff, I blitz the boss better than ever. Now that panic saving is seared into my mind, I find that Geppetto and his living tree have moved in next door. Here I find a new Keyblade. It's very short, but the final hit of the combo is always a critical. It's a trap, I know it's a trap, but I'll try the blade out anyway. Pegasus Cup? I'm not gonna lie to save face. I'm not gonna throw excuses around like how the sun was in my eyes and the Pinocchio Keyblade sucks. It does. Leon and Yuffie did beat me up twice. Yuffers hangs back and throws shurikens at you while Leon walks you down. It's a devious little tag team, but luckily Yuffie is stupid. Guarding her shurikens sends them back, which stuns her, giving a nice punish window. You can even send them at Leon, but I never did this, I just stuck to bullying the brat. Once she goes down, the fight gets a lot easier, even after Leon activates his Armageddon Blade mode. That's a cheeky reference some of you might get. Once Big L falls, I win and claim my prize, Strike Raid, a new skill similar to Sonic Blade. Hey, is that a new world? Oh no, it's the wet one. I'm a mermaid! Look at my tail, look at me go! And oh my god, what did they do to my boy? Before we've even had the chance to address Donald being an octopus, Ariel is here to replace him in the party. Look at this carefree king just being a turtle. Atlantica is a fully underwater world, and that means new movement. We've got up, and we've got down. And before we've had time to talk about the fact that Donald has tentacles, the Heartless are here. This Heartless attack has Ariel concerned they might go to the palace, so we get to play the role of bodyguard, although after looking at Ariel's abilities, she seems pretty powerful. I wasn't lying when I said she'd replace Donald. You can tell the devs had some fun, but a lot of headaches with this place. It's one of the most unique worlds in the game after all. Treasure chests are replaced with clams, and combat has a whole new dimension to it. But because of this, some abilities no longer work. My strategy of guarding everything goes out the window. I think they were worried combat here might be a bit too difficult, so a lot of the enemies feel a bit more toned down. But that doesn't stop them from having some great designs. Something I haven't really mentioned until now is how the Heartless will adapt to each world and take on fitting appearances. They didn't have to do that, but they did anyway. They did that for me, and I'm very grateful. At the palace, we meet King Daddy, who becomes very upset when he hears we're here looking for the keyhole. He forbids Ariel from leaving the palace and refuses to elaborate, proving once again that the final boss of drama is poor communication. We also get our first look at Ursula, and she's huge! So anyway, I get lost, swimming around, killing Heartless, not sure what I'm doing wrong. Then I snag a ride with a dolphin who carries me through a current and drops me off at hell. I grab some goodies inside and... Now, some of you might be wondering if my thalassophobia is an issue here. Well, no, not really. There's just too much Disney whimsy, and even the shark himself looks like a big doofus. Not like some other monstrosities from a previous video. On my way back to Ariel's grotto, I run into him again. It turns out the shark has a chance to be encountered in some of these areas, replacing normal enemies entirely. A rare Pokemon indeed. These extra fights are tougher than the first, but he does keep dropping some fat experience and items. I'm sure some people even go out of their way to farm him. Without even looking for him, I think I had this fight at least 6 or 8 times. Back at the grotto, we put the cool trident thingy in the hole, but King Daddy hates that and he blows it up. Mean Daddy, bad. He reveals he knows we're the key bearer and why we're here, then gives me a lecture on how we're meddling where we shouldn't. Meanwhile, Ariel gets tricked by the very friendly-looking sea witch Ursula, who Ariel knows. She knows Ursula is bad news, but she listens anyway. Poor girl, it's all hair up there. Because of this, I'm stuck with Donald again, but I can't lie, he's infectiously happy in his portrait. Look at him, he's just such a happy little guy. I rush over to the palace with great haste, but oh no, it's too late. Ursula has the almighty stick and dips before she can catch these fins. Ariel, feeling bad that she made a big goof, insists she helps. So Donald's back on the bench. At the shipwreck, I gotta fight Blubber with teeth again before Sebastian opens the way into Ursula's lair. By the way, Donald's magic is how we changed into these water forms. You're telling me the duck is a powerful enough mage to pull off 3 full-body transformations for this length of time? Also, why an octopus? Does Donald have a thing for tentacles? I guess not. The Ursula fight is a gimmick boss. She floats around doing whatever it is she does, 2 eels attack the gang, and a big old cauldron is stuck in the middle shooting nasty spells and effects at us. You have to blast the cauldron with magic, specifically one that aligns with the cauldron's color at the time. Now, I'm not sure if I was doing this wrong, but this wasn't exactly working too well for me at first. But eventually the cauldron blows up, does damage to Ursula, and stuns her, giving you a chance to throw in some big damage. A few more cauldron mishaps, and she runs away. Conveniently, I've now got Mermaid Kick. Is it really kicking without legs?
You pathetic fools! I rule the seas now! The sea and all its spoils bow to my power!
I told you she was looking huge. This might be the most boss fight in the game so far. We've had some lackluster ones like Jafar and some okay ones like Clayton. But Ursula here feels the most like a classic boss battle. She attacks using bubbles, mouth lasers, and even pulls the good old Andros in hail. Someone on the team was a big Star Fox fan. Between her attacks, go in, rearrange her face, and then get away. The entire time there's lightning strikes targeting where I am, so sitting still is never a good idea. Once she gets low on health, she adds a big lightning attack to her list of dangers. Ariel and Goofy try their best here, but there's just a lot of big AoE attacks that they can't really avoid too well. After avoiding being vored by Big Woman for the 50th time, I fry her with my own lightning. She chokes, I guess? Something? Anyway, she's dead. Big Magic Stick is back with King Daddy, so we can close the keyhole now. After all of this, I'm rewarded with the Crab Claw! Crab Claw! Feet back on dry land, I head to Merlin's place. Now, do you remember the book that Sid had us deliver a while ago? No? Good. It's time to take a look.
Think.
Hi there. What's wrong?
Nothing. Just thinking.
Oh.
I was thinking of how to say goodbye to Pooh.
Pooh?
Yes.
Wait a second. You're Pooh?
Yes, I'm Winnie the Pooh. Pooh for short. Who are you?
I'm Sora.
Oh, hello, Sora. Have you come to say goodbye to Pooh, too?
Well, no. Why would I do that? We've only just met.
Because everyone's gone away.
What do you mean?
Well, we all lived here in the 100-acre wood.
The 100-acre wood is an optional area, but the rewards you can get here are very good, so there's no real reason not to come here. And while I would love to let this beautiful little world soak in, the video's not getting any shorter. The world is broken up into specific places where you meet the residents of the woods. You help them with a problem they're having, usually with a minigame, and then move on to the next. First we find Piglet, being very brave as always. Pooh comes along with a bright idea to get some honey. We have to swat away angry bees while he raids the sticky treasury. Completing this gets us a new summon, you see what I mean about the rewards? Next is Rabbit's home. Pooh raids his honey supplies, but he gets himself stuck in the hole afterwards. The hole must have shrunk. Rabbit's solution is to make some carrot juice so Pooh can slim down. The minigame has us saving as many carrots as we can from Tigger's bouncing bombardment. Afterwards, Pooh gets his juice, we launch him from the hole. Then we have Eeyore floating down a river. After rescuing him, the issue turns to his tail. It's gone, oh no. Luckily, we can push Pooh on a swing so that he can find it from way up high. Crash into Eeyore's home, find his tail. This gets us an upgrade to Stop. And because I don't have the other pages, our honey adventure ends here for now, but I will backtrack for the rest soon. In the meantime, is that Halloween Town? Check it out. We are looking spooky, and Goofy's got his dogs out. I'll stop. Halloween Town just might be the fan favorite world of the game. From the new look we get to the music and the overall atmosphere, is very good. It kind of reminds me of Medieval now that I think about it. Walking into town, we're ambushed by Passive Heartless.
And now, allow me to introduce the Master of Terror, the King of Nightmares, Jack Skellington!
After Jack makes his terrifying entrance, we learn that he's been trying to add the Heartless to this year's Halloween celebration. He wants them to dance. The problem, besides the fact they have no feet to dance with, they aren't cooperating very well. The solution? Simple. They need a heart. One failed heart transplant experiment later, and it's on us to go and get the components to improve this artificial heart. Jack replaces Donald. Jack, like most special teammates, is very strong in combat. In the graveyard, we track down Sally, who has the memory that we need.
That bonehead Jack is really making a heart. I'll be jiggered.
What did he say? The second comes from the mayor, who has us do a short memory game before we get our surprise. But before the newly constructed heart can be tested, it's stolen, swiped by the vile lock, shock and barrel. Filthy little stains. While marching over to eviscerate some children, I figure it's time to actually show you some summons. I've been steadily collecting them along the way, including the one that we just got from the 100-acre wood, Bambi. In short, Bambi is busted. He runs around erupting with mana bubbles, meaning near infinite spell spam. Kill enemies, more bubbles. Kill enough to satisfy Bambi's bloodlust, and he'll give you some items. It's a win-win, and currently my favorite summon. Then we have the genie, who flies around, locks onto enemies, and hits them with various spells. It isn't bad, but it also isn't amazing either. It's kinda just forgettable amongst all the others, unfortunate. Dumbo though, now that's a decent summon right there. I know there are people who don't like this one, but I'm a fan of flying around water blasting enemies. And because Dumbo can fly, he also lets you get up into high spots that you normally shouldn't be able to, a speedrunner's favorite. Lastly, we have Simba, the very first summon that you get. He's very simple, you hit the button, he does the raw area damage, everyone happy. You can charge this up for better effect, but I got bullied a lot trying to show this aspect of it off. If you're careful though, and you plan his charged up raw properly, he'll basically one-shot everything on the screen. There are still 2 more summons I haven't gotten yet, so we'll cover those later. Oh, and look at the time! We were having so much fun with the summons, I almost forgot to beat these kids near to death. The brats tattle and say Oogie Boogie is behind everything. Time to kill the boogeyman.
You want it? Well then come on over and get it! Ah! Now, let's see if I can get their attention. Oh, hunters! This is it? Nobody disrespects me!
Oogie Boogie is pretty similar to Ursula because his first fight is mostly a gimmick one. He throws dice to determine what kind of torch you get, but you can hit these dice to reduce the effect. After killing some enemies, the floor lights up, letting you pick a section of the platform to gate off. This gating effect will extend up to Boogie as well, so the goal is to trap him in the same space that you're in, and then go to town and beat up that big ol' sandbag. This fight was pretty easy and was over in no time. A big shout out to Strike Raid for keeping me on the upper floor long enough to land the final blow. Very cinematic, very cool. Time for the second fight. This one is also a bit of a gimmick fight. You have to climb up the giant Oogie and destroy all the darkness spots to beat him. I didn't find this very hard to do at all, but it's definitely one of those 50-50 fights where one person's GG easy is another's rage quit. With the Boogie out of the Oogie, we can seal up the keyhole and get a nice magic upgrade. Our final reward for sealing up Halloween Town is Pumpkinhead, a new Keyblade I'll be testing out for a bit. Although I can't lie, I already missed the crab. I don't want to alarm you, but we've got another world.
Some scurvy sea dogs be pulling maneuvers off me bow.
Neverland. Whoa. I didn't think you'd come, Sora. Good to see you again.
Well, where are Donald and Goofy?
Are they that important to you? More important than old friends? Instead of worrying about them, you should be asking about her.
Oh, I've seen this before. It does not end well.
Kyrie!
That's right. While you were off goofing around, I finally found her.
Not so fast. No shenanigans aboard my vessel, boy.
Riku, why are you siding with the Heartless?
The Heartless obey me now, Sora. Now I have nothing to fear.
You're stupid! Sooner or later, they'll swallow your heart!
Not a chance. My heart's too strong.
Riku!
I've picked up a few other tricks as well. Like this, for instance. You can go see your friends now.
The bad guys make the classic mistake of tossing the Keyblade-wielding, Heartless-slaying Chosen One into the hold of a ship filled with Heartless, the same kind we've been killing, with no restrictions to his abilities and full access to his teammates. Alright, while in the hold we meet Peter Pan and Tinkerbell. Peter's here to rescue Wendy, we're here to rescue Kairi, so the simps unite. As you've probably guessed, he's pretty tough in combat. However, he regularly does his rooster call in fights, so if you can believe it, I'm gonna bench him very soon. Very soon. But not before the gang get their very own sprinkling of pixie dust so we can fly. Soon. Meanwhile, Riku informs Hook that Wendy is in fact not one of the 7 princesses they need. Because Hook has no idea what Maleficent is actually planning, I'm convinced none of the villains have ever been aware and were in it purely for the love of the game. Maleficent is the only one with an advanced motive here that goes beyond the standard Disney villain MO. Word comes through that the prisoners, that's us, have escaped and have teamed up with Peter Pan. Well, shiver me timbers, you mean simply dumping all of our captives in the hold of the ship without restraints or so much as a locked door was a bad idea?
Peter? Peter Pan?
Wendy!
Please, hurry! The pirates are coming!
What? I'll be right up there. Just hold on.
Wendy?
Yes?
Is there another girl in there with you?
Oh, why, yes. But she seems to be asleep.
Really? Really, Wendy? Asleep, you say? Oh, fun! It's the boat. It has to be the boat. It's making people stupid. To prove my theory, I got lost. I ran around for about 20 minutes being harassed by my own shadow before discovering a hole in the ceiling I could use to escape. Riku is a coward and continues to run. But who cares? It's time for a shadow fight. All shadow fights are cool. Those are the rules. Instead of copying my spells and attacks exactly, he mixes in shadow shenanigans, like appearing from the floor to attack. He can also create clones to give Dawn and Goof a headache. He also just hits really hard. With my shadow back under control, Peter flies off with Wendy, abandoning us like a true simp king. On the deck of the ship, Hook has taken Tinkerbell hostage, forcing us to walk the plank. Good for us, bad for him, we were drowning in pixie dust earlier. Peter returns, rescuing Tinkerbell. Cure upgrades to Cura for some reason, and I can now fly while in Neverland. It's more or less the same as swimming in Atlantica. I prefer being on the ground so I can use my roll and guard, but flying does make it a lot easier to handle the flying enemies. Like the battleship Heartless, which might take the prize for best design for me so far. Hook's fight took me longer to finish than was probably intended, not because I died a bunch, but because he keeps summoning Battleship Heartless. I couldn't just ignore them. I mean, look at them. They're practically begging to be sunk. Hook himself, though, is pretty simple. He attacks using his sword, which you can guard. Do that enough, and he temporarily gets stunned from his sword shaking in his hands. He also throws out Explosive Presence and has a pretty cool sword combo attack. If you do knock him off the side of the ship, the croc tries to eat him, causing him to fly up through the air back on board. Hook himself can't fly, so this is a really strange fight in that you get a lot more mobility against a boss with a lot less. I eventually put aside my desire to sink more battleships and sunk Hook instead.
Oh, Kairi couldn't wake up, so maybe she's really lost her...
Sora.
I still can't believe it. I really flew. Wait till I tell Kairi. I wonder if she'll believe me. Probably not.
You can bring her to Neverland sometime. Then she can try it herself.
If you believe, you can do anything, right? I'll find Kairi. I know I will. There's so much I want to tell her. about flying, the pirates, and everything else that's happened.
Good lord, do I have to censor that? Why is Tink just flying around with so much ass hanging out? I bet you thought Neverland was just hook ship, huh? Yeah? Well, you're basically right. All we have to do here is hit the clock until the time is right, seal the keyhole, and we're done. For now.
It was reckless to bring her here without at least using a vessel. Remember, relying too heavily on the dark powers could cost you your heart. A castaway. Though his world perished, his heart did not. When we took the princess from his castle, he apparently followed her here through sheer force of will. But fear not. No harm will come to you. He is no match for your power.
My power?
Yes, the untapped power that lies within you. Now, child, it's time you awakened that power and realized your full potential.
No, I'm not just going to ignore that. You're telling me that Beast... Oh yeah, right, spoilers. She's talking about Beast. Despite his whole world being consumed, through sheer force of will, made it out. Seriously. As far as we've seen so far, characters who don't lose their hearts when their world is destroyed turn into some sort of gem or object that we then awaken to become summons. Beast, on the other hand, prevented this fate entirely through sheer force of will. Is Beast like a Superman tier character in the Kingdom Hearts lore? I need to know. Anyway, back at the clock tower, the flying dump truck with wings comes along as our new summon. We also get a new Keyblade. The Fairy Harp does pretty much everything you want it to. It boosts MP, magic, summons, and deals strong critical hits. The only real downside, as you can see, it's pretty short. What's that? A new tournament? Cloud is back for a rematch, and despite the fact that he's mostly doing the exact same stuff that he did in the first fight, he's somehow harder this time. He's more prepared in the run back because he can now pop limit, grow one wing, and fly around performing Omni Slash. Beating him here gets me a new Keyblade. We'll check it out after I'm done battling the real boss of this cup, Sean Astin. Sora insists on fighting him 1v1, but it doesn't really matter because Herc is one of the easier fights in all of these cups. He glows with his godly aura, making him immune to damage, but for whatever reason, throwing a barrel at him will absolutely devastate his godhood. He only has around 4 or 5 attacks. They aren't very hard to deal with at all, but if he hits, it hurts. Defeating Sean Astin, God Incarnate, gets me a new shield for Goofy, the Olympia Keyblade, and Yellow Trinities at last. The Metal Chocobo Keyblade we got from Cloud is the closest thing we're gonna get to our very own Buster Sword. It's got some crazy length, hits hard enough, but the drawbacks just aren't really worth it. Olympia, on the other hand, is a beefy Keyblade that I remember using for a while back when I first played. Using the nearby Yellow Trinity, it reveals the keyhole for the world. Closing it does not, however, mean that we're done with the tournaments. We will be back. Now, enough messing around with the unimportant stuff. Back at Traverse Town, I pay a visit to the Dalmatian house. I've steadily been collecting dogs this entire time. I've gotten over 50, so they have a bunch of rewards piling up for me. Did you see it? I wish the dogs good luck in curing whatever disease has them breaking out in spots and rush out of there. Probably contagious. I race over to Merlin's place and yeah, that's right, baby. 100 Acre Woods! Winnie the Pooh, more like Winnie the Woo! Don't tell the Chinese government. Tigger's Bouncing Ground is our first stop. There's a bit to do here, so let's be quick. First, I've got to follow Tigger's jumping pattern a few times, followed by breaking this giant pot by smacking stuff back into it. Then it's collecting a few goodies. Slide down a tree, blow up another tree, collect rare nuts and give them to Owl. No, I don't know why. And pow! Just like that, the bouncing place is done. Onto the mud area. who is doing a phenomenal job following his own tracks. What a legend. He's lost his friends, so we gotta help find them. I drag Pooh along to find Eeyore, Rabbit, Tigger, Piglet, Owl, and Roo. Pow! Just like that. With that, the 100-acre wood is saved. The gang enjoy a lovely rest and gaze at the stars before saying bye to Sora. The book is closed, the keyhole taken care of. My reward for finishing the rest of the book is an XP ring, a very valuable accessory boosting my experience gain by 20%, as well as some max MP. This ring isn't coming off for a while. Sid installs a new navigation gummy on the ship so we can head to the next location. While Sora is feeling depressed, he gets emotionally kidnapped or something and watches a scene where Kid Kairi is talking to her grandma for a long time. We're quickly approaching the Kingdom Hearts part of Kingdom Hearts. This is a warning. Sid then tells us the place we're going to is crawling with Heartless. Sounds good, let's go. Hollow Bastion. I'd go pee and get a new drink before continuing. If I were you, this place is a lot. Shortly after arriving, we see Beast, the Breaker of Reality, explaining how awesome he is to Riku, who injures Beast in a quick exchange.
So, you finally made it. About time. I've been waiting for you. We've always been rivals, haven't we? You've always pushed me, as I've always pushed you.
Riku!
But it all ends here. There can't be two Keyblade Masters.
What are you talking about?
Let the Keyblade choose. Its true master. Maleficent was right. You don't have what it takes to save Kairi. It's up to me. Only the Keyblade Master can open the secret door and change the world.
But that's impossible. How did this happen? I'm the one who fought my way here with the Keyblade.
You were just the delivery boy. Sorry, your part's over now. Here, go play hero with this.
Goofy, let's go. We have to remember our mission.
Oh, well, I know the king told us to follow the key and all, but...
Sora, sorry.
Hey, don't move! You're hurt!
Why did you come here? I came to fight for Belle. And though I am on my own, I will fight. I won't leave without her. That's why I'm here.
Me too. I'm not gonna give up now. I came here to find someone very important to me.
I've lost the Keyblade and been abandoned by the goat. The wooden sword is useless. Good thing we have a beast on our side to do all the fighting. Magic does still work, but once I'm out of MP, I'm more or less a sitting duck, and the enemies here are tougher. So let's talk about Hollow Bastion as I make my way through this beginning part. Up until now, with the exception of Traverse Town, it's all been Disney, loosely following their world stories. And while this place does feature some Disney characters, it's a Square original. It almost feels like a different team made this place because at times it feels alien from all the rest. But maybe that's deliberate. Down in the basement, I make my way through a big puzzle with moving walls so I can unlock the door upstairs. Inside, we can see all of the kidnapped princesses being used by Maleficent to open the big door. Beast falls for the oldest jest on the parchment just in time for my showdown with the goat. And the 2 mistakes.
Quit while you can.
No, not without Kairi.
The darkness will destroy you.
You're wrong, Riku. The darkness may destroy my body, but it can't touch my heart. My heart will stay with my friends. It'll never die!
Really? Well, we'll just see about that!
Ah!
Sora ain't gonna go anywhere.
You'd betray your king?
Not on your life. But I'm not gonna betray Sora either, 'cause he's become one of my best buddies after all we've been through together. See you later, Donald! Could you tell the king I'm really sorry?
Hold on, Goofy! We'll tell them together! Well, you know, I'm for one and right for all.
I guess you're stuck with us, Sora.
Thanks a lot, Donald, Goofy.
How will you fight without a weapon?
I know now I don't need the Keyblade. I've got a better weapon. My heart!
Your heart? What good will that weak little thing do for you?
Although my heart may be weak, it's not alone. It's grown with each new experience, and it's found a home with all the friends I've made. I've become part of their heart just as they've become a part of mine. And if they think of me now and then, if they don't forget me, then our hearts will be one. I don't need a weapon. My friends are my power.
I tried to warn you, we're thick in Kingdom Hearts land now. From here on out, it's tons of dialogue about hearts, friends, darkness, and hearts. Now that I've got my Keyblade back, it's finally time to beat the bitch out of this kid. This is also where you'll get your first look at Ars Arcanum, the new skill we got from Hook. It's a very strong attack, but it costs a big chunk of MP, and overall strike rate is probably better thanks to its utility. It's also here we can see Goofy the Goat in his final form. He learned an ability that lets him pay 2 MP to give 3 MP to a teammate. So I took off every other ability with an MP cost that he has so that he always spams the top up. This lets me play a lot more aggressively with my MP. I can also cast more Cure and Aero so it doubles as added protection. Support Goofy is a god. We beat Riku so hard his fashion sense goes back in time and he runs away. Beast returns after presumably splitting the known universe open to travel to a point in entropy before that Shadow became a Heartless, just so he can beat it to death. I also learned White Trinity's the last one, so instead of advancing, it's time to backtrack to every single world, track down the White Trinities, and receive the very worthwhile reward. Oh, it's done. Overall, I rate the White Trinities a solid, out of meh. Back at Hollow Bastion, the puzzles continue in the library. Take the books that have been returned wrong and find their correct home. I can't believe we've gone from being swallowed by giant space whales, flying and talking to ape men, and here we are playing the role of an actual librarian. A hidden door here leads me to a learning moment. Gravity is good at Hollow Bastion. The next main room is, that's right, another puzzle. I've got to track down the missing pieces from the door downstairs, but rather than bore you with the details, pow, it's done. Closest thing to magic I can actually do for you here.
Why? It was mine.
Know this. The heart that is strong and true shall win the Keyblade.
What? You're saying my heart's weaker than his?
For that instant it was. However, you can become stronger. You showed no fear in stepping through the door to darkness. It held no terror for you. Plunge deeper into the darkness, and your heart will grow even stronger.
What should I do?
It's really quite simple. Open yourself to the darkness. That is all. Let your heart
your being become darkness itself.
He's Griffith, he's Anakin, he's Sasuke, he's yuckin' stupid is what he is. There's a lot of enemies in this place, so take my word for it, I was slowed down considerably because I wanted to kill as many of them here as I could for synthesis materials. So what better time to show you Tinkerbell. Probably the most powerful summon in the game. Wait, before you type a comment telling me about the last summon, don't worry, I know, we'll get there, okay? It's cool, chill, relax, take a deep breath. Ah, see, that's fine. You almost did a funny, but it's okay, we're cool now, right? We're cool. How about instead of that comment that you're about to type, you tell me the name of your ship? You know that thing I told you to do back in the beginning that I know you didn't do? Do that one now. Tinkerbell is busted. She flies around casting a heal on you or someone else who's hurt every few seconds. If you die, she revives you once. And because she doesn't take away your two teammates like other summons do, you don't even have a trade-off. She also lasts a long time. This was the first time, in fact, I had to manually dismiss a summon because I couldn't leave the room with her still active. From here on out, if I mention the dump truck pixie strat, you'll know. Okay, no, fighting, no. That's when I learned counterattack, that's pretty good, no. Big elevator, and still going, let's skip ahead a bit, and there we go. Problem solved.
So, I see the path has emerged at last.
Yes. The keyhole to the darkness.
Unlock it. And the Heartless will overrun this world.
What do I care? The darkness holds no power over me. Rather, I will use its power to rule all worlds.
Such confidence.
Oh. Impossible! The Princesses of Heart are all here. It must be her.
Without her heart, she will never be able to release her power.
The King's fools are here. I'll deal with them myself. You stay here and guard the princesses. I'm afraid you're too late. Any moment now, the final keyhole will be unsealed. This world will be plunged into darkness. It is unstoppable.
We'll stop it! After coming this far, there's no way we're gonna let that happen.
You poor, simple fools. You think you can defeat me? Me, the mistress of all evil!
At last, it's time to fight Maleficent. Remember earlier when I said gravity magic is good here? Bringing her back down to Earth means she can experience some equal rights and lefts. I also love it when all-powerful magic users just completely snap mentally and resort to hit with stick. The powerful magic part is right though, she summons strong minions and casts a few very nasty magic attacks. The main one that gets in the way is a meteor shower, but with enough gravity and blunt force trauma, she's done.
Do you need some help?
Riku!
Is that?
Yes, a Keyblade. But unlike yours, this Keyblade holds the power to unlock people's hearts. Allow me to demonstrate. Behold! Now, open your heart. Surrender it to the darkness. Become darkness itself!
This is it. This power! Darkness. The true darkness!
It's pretty sick. We get an actual dragon fight in Kingdom Hearts 1. We've gone full circle. This is a true RPG. This isn't an easy one either. She's very aggressive and hits in wide areas. She bites, she swings her tail, and she breathes fire. Goofy and Donald had no chance here. This is the first boss so far where I found myself constantly casting Aero and Cura and using Ethers to refill MP. I also love that they didn't lock the fight to one perspective and really let you explore around the room a little bit. You can even jump up onto her back. After nearly dying several times, the dragon is slain.
How ironic. She was just another puppet after all.
What?
The Heartless were using Maleficent from the beginning. She failed to notice the darkness in her heart eating away at her. A fitting end for such a fool.
Kairi! 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 Open your eyes!
It's no use. That girl has lost her heart. She cannot wake up.
What? You're not Riku?
The keyhole cannot be completed, so long as the last Princess of Heart still sleeps.
The princess? Kairi's a princess?
Yes. And without her power, the keyhole will remain incomplete. It is time she awakened.
Whoever you are, let Riku go! Give him back his heart!
But first, you must give the princess back her heart.
What's...
Don't you see yet? The princess's heart is responding. It has been there all along. Kairi's heart rests within you.
Kairi's inside me?
I know all that there is to know.
Tell me, who are you?
It is I, Ansem, the Seeker of Darkness. So, I shall release you now, Princess. Complete the keyhole with your power. Open the door. Lead me into everlasting darkness.
Sora!
Forget it. There's no way you're taking Kairi's heart.
I think it's fair to say that a lot of people will tell you that this Riku fight in particular was a nightmare for them as a kid. Riku straight up terrorized the infants back in the day. He's very aggressive and has some tough attacks to avoid. It's also a 1v1, so no help from the GOAT. And in the original PS2 version, you also couldn't skip the cutscenes, so every time you died, you had to watch through this entire thing all over again just for another chance. Now, as it turns out, we were all just very stupid as kids because Riku is fodder to guarding. Especially if you have counterattack, it does good damage and rebuilds a lot of MP. Eventually, he powers up and starts using some very big attacks, but gliding around the room seems to handle things just fine. His ultimate move has him rapidly dashing around the room with some magic explosions to finish. This was always the one that got me when I first played. I remember dying to this a ton, but you'll never see it here because gliding against a wall just evades the whole thing. By the end we had some pretty cool clashes, but he's still guard fodder and still goes down to the indestructible defense that I brought. I learned from the best.
Riku!
Sora, yuck!
Oh, the keyhole! It won't work! The keyhole's not finished yet!
What can we do?
Maybe we gotta go wake Kairi up.
I think you're right. If we can free her heart. But keyblade that unlocks people's hearts. I wonder.
Sora? Sora! Hold on!
Would you believe me if I told you Sora impaling himself here is a series-defining moment with long-lasting repercussions that ripple out through the entire franchise? Yeah, don't worry too much about that. The Keyblade Riku had was made using the princess's hearts. Sora uses it to free Kairi's heart from his own. The Keyblade breaks, princess's hearts all go back. Sora is consumed by darkness and becomes a Heartless. We get our first look at Ansem, I'll explain later, and Riku's heart astral projects, or whatever, to stop him so the others can run. The important thing here is, despite the fact that Sora has become a Heartless, he hasn't forgotten who he is and runs back to join the gang. Donald tries to kill Sora for good, but Kairi intervenes. Their connection, their friendship, their true love, her being a princess of heart, it being 35 degrees Celsius at 6 p.m. means Sora has come back. Once again, this is one of those series-defining moments and has a lot of Kingdom Heartsy ramifications later down the line. Beast isn't done breaking down the foundations of reality, so he stays behind to finish the job, letting us escape. Back at town, we fill the others in on the situation. More Heartless are coming in from the big keyhole door thingy, which means the stronger ones that we met in Hollow Bastion are popping up all over the place. Siddlesworth tells us that to go back to Hollow Bastion, we should use the back door. So we zip over to the sewers where Kairi likes to hang out to pick up this mystical backdoor Gummy. Kairi talks to us about friendship, true love, how hot the weather has been lately, and gives us a very special new keychain. Oh yeah, the Keyblade changes based on what keychain you're using. They're not all actually different Keyblades, they're like accessories. You know, I just had to make sure that was explained more than an hour and 10 minutes into my Kingdom Hearts video. Meanwhile, Riku wanders around in the darkness talking to a strange voice. We hate this guy, so we'll ignore him for now. The new Keyblade is Oathkeeper, a fan favorite in the series, and it doesn't hurt that it's also pretty good. I also get our final summon back at Merlin's place, Mushu, but I forget to use him for the next 5 hours or so. I also got a new staff, but fine, let's talk about Mushu. You summon him, he sits on your head, and he shoots fireballs. Simple enough. But he's actually secretly the most broken summon in the game, literally because thanks to some silly code, if you equip the 0 XP ability, perform a combo finisher, and then immediately summon Mushu, now all of his fireballs will do finisher level damage. This will evaporate enemy health bars, including bosses. I still prefer Tinkerbell though, because she has enough storage space to live in. Thanks to Sid, it's backdoor time. We reunite with Beast, who tells us the princesses have stayed inside to do something. We find Belle in the library, who tells us the princesses have been holding back the darkness coming from the keyhole. She then gives us the Divine Rose Keyblade. The Divine Rose is a legend of a Keyblade. The damage this thing gives is almost unmatched. By default, this makes Belle best princess. Further in the castle, I find the rest of the ladies hanging out. They tell me that Ansem was swallowed by the darkness coming from the keyhole, so we've got to go deal with it. Near the big evil hole, I find the Oblivion Keyblade, another pretty iconic and enduring blade, but blah 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 Divine Rose. Sealing this keyhole isn't as easy as the rest. In fact, it's easier, because inside is the boss Behemoth. This guy is laughable compared to previous encounters. I couldn't even tell you what most of his moves are, because I probably didn't even see them. I spent most of the time on his back smashing in his horn. He died, it was over. Back outside, the Traverse Town gang have come to see their childhood home, and I've gotta tell ya, after so many years, It is great to see where Leon, Aeris, Sid, and Stupid Ninja Kid all grew up. I should play Final Fantasy sometime to see what it was like before the Heartless attacked. They inform me that by defeating the Heartless and locking the keyholes to each world, they'll all be separated again, meaning we'll never get to visit the worlds and friends we've made along the way. I give the Hollow Bastion keyhole a good old twist and then meet back up with the princesses. They can sense big evil energy taking the form of my next destination. Before I go, they upgrade my fire magic. Back in the library, Aeris gives me the final upgrade to Cure, and this makes sense because it's useless staying with her. Now, I think we're overdue to visit the Dalmatians, don't you agree? And the reason for that is because I got them all. That's right, I didn't forget. I've been picking up those puppies the entire time. The rewards we get are pretty good, but the final one is the best. It is the last upgrade for Aero. Now, besides halving the damage that we take, it will reflect all projectiles automatically. With all of that out of the way, it's finally time for our last Gummy ship flight. Yeah, I don't know anyone who loves these sections. It's Lego in space. I made a new custom Gummy ship. It's the first time I've ever done this. Do you like? I love the Gummy ship. We're here. This place is pure aesthetic. There isn't even a real flaw. Every other world was attacked by the Heartless, but this is essentially their very own. It's an amalgamation of destroyed worlds all stuck together. The first section is covered in loot with combat encounters similar to turn-based games. The enemies here are another step up in difficulty, but the Divine Rose doesn't care and tears through them like Tinkerbell's ass escaping the containment of her dress. There's even a mini-boss behemoth here who immediately becomes fodder to gravity magic. The next room is a big descent with more loot spread around the place, but no enemies to worry about. I snatch a few nice goodies on the way and hit the bottom. The next section might be the coolest one. It has portals to every other world we've been to. If there are any worlds where you haven't sealed the keyhole already, you need to go inside the portal and clear out a wave of Heartless, but we're good heroes and cleared them all already. Still, it's worth going in for some treasures that you can find. But none of that matters anymore, because at the end of it all, we have Chernobog! Actual Chernobog! This might be the coolest Disney inclusion in the entire game, easily. It's Satan, the devil himself, the beast of Bald Mountain. How did they do this? There is absolutely nothing that suggests that Big Cherney is going to be at the end of this area. He's just like the giant Ursula fight, but I learned my lesson from last time, so Cherney is going to be getting hit in the back of the head a lot. I really like the idea, but once again, I can barely tell you what he does. I was just back there cranking damage from start to finish. Cherney goes back to hell and gives me Super Glide for my trouble. It's the exact same thing as regular glide, but it's faster. Wowee. I'm then ambushed and genuinely startled by another fodder with legs, but he's only the beginning of a gauntlet. Waves of enemies need to be dealt with in order to open the door on the other side of the room. The battle here is surprisingly more difficult than most of the bosses up to now, and there's a lot more waves than I expected. But with absolutely no help from Donald, the last stand of Heartless falls and I enter the final rest. On the other side of this small room is the final boss and the end of the game. Anyway, we're leaving. Back at the Coliseum, it's Hades! What the hell? 49? Yeah, nah, we're skipping to the good fights, like, Yuffie getting body slammed because she's been abandoned to fight on her own. Tears, darling, tears. Absolute sympathy. All my regrets. Anyway, no one cares about her. The Hades Cup throws just about every enemy that you fought at you, including some boss fights. We've got Fodder, again, Chameleon, Cerberus, Cloud and Leon even team up because they knew Yuffie was dead weight. But down at the 10th seed, we have Hades. Remember earlier when I said all the Disney villains were defeated? I lied. I guess Hades has just been hanging out doing whatever he wants this whole time. He's also probably the toughest Disney boss next to Dragon Maleficent. He does a ton of damage, especially with his funny attack where he spins around and shoots out fire. I wish more bosses did this. It's the kind of move you would expect a child to do, but it somehow works. Donald and Goofy hated this. He gets all red and angry and throws fireballs. Deflecting them back stuns him, which is weird because it's still a fireball after all. Why does that hurt him? He's weak to cold magic, and I think Donald even put out his flames once. Fun fight for a fun bad guy. Beating Hothead upgrades my gravity magic, but he was only the 10th seed. It's weird that there are so many seeds above Hades, including 2 chameleons. Anyway, the number 1 seed of the Hades Cup is the Rock Titan, and the fight sucks. You hit his foot until he falls over and then bash his heads. That's it. That's the entire fight. It's super easy, Yuffie tier battle. Hades' hair goes out and I learn Trinity Limit, a very powerful move that I don't use, but I might show you if you're cool. Before we continue, I need to pick something up. I knew the video wouldn't be complete without this, so I spent more time than I want to admit grinding synthesis materials. If you craft every item at least once, you'll unlock the recipe for the best Keyblade in the game. Ultima Weapon. Just unlocking the recipe takes a lot of time, but crafting it is also a pretty big investment, but it's very worth it in the end. Ultima appears in pretty much every Kingdom Hearts game and is usually the strongest or at the least one of the strongest weapons. And now that we have the weapon, there's still one more thing to do before we're done. Super bosses! The Ice Titan is one of a few optional super bosses that can be found in the game. Each one is a step up in difficulty, usually with some unique mechanics. The Big Frosty here can only be fought 1v1 in the Coliseum, but honestly that's probably a good thing. He almost exclusively has AoE attacks that would put Donald and Goofy down constantly. The main way to hurt him is by reflecting his own ice projectiles back at him. But I can't use Arrow to cheese him. The devs knew about this. They made it so that if you use Arrow, his icicles become giant, unable to be reflected, and do a lot of damage. So Arrow is off the table. Which also means no damage reduction buff either. The fight is a balance of finding good opportunities to reflect some ice shards while also not getting hit by all of the other stuff he throws at you. Hit him with enough ice though and he'll become stunned, giving a small window to do some melee damage. As he gets weaker, he adds more attacks to his list of frigid dangers. I'm a big fan of rock spawning above my head. It killed me more than once, I hate it. Or how about cold breath? Or maybe an enormous cold snap that freezes you while dealing a lot of damage. Now I probably should have equipped some items to reduce the ice damage I was taking, but after 2 or 3 failed attempts to learn his patterns, he goes down. The Tiny Tundra drops the Diamond Dust, the best raw magic Keyblade, but you know, Ultima, so yeah, I mean Ultima. Next I zip over to Neverland, where the talking hips tell us there's something at the clock tower. Look, it's death! First we killed Satan, now it's time to end death itself. Well, not really, this is the Phantom. As a kid, this fight was pretty tough because it involves a fair bit of micromanagement. Phantom uses a curse associated with the clock as a doom countdown. If the timer hits 0, whoever he targeted when he cast the spell is instantly killed for the rest of the fight. No revives. To stop this, you have to cast the stop magic on the clock roughly every 30 to 40 seconds. As long as it's not ticking, you're in the clear. But that's not all. You can't hurt the boss unless you hit the orb that floats underneath him with a specific type of damage. White orb is a physical hit and all the colors represent the main elemental spells. Because of this, the fight becomes very MP heavy. Too bad for the Phantom, I'm overprepared with every elixir and ether I've never used throughout the entire game. Keep calling time out and putting the circle in the square hole and he's easy. He gives me an upgrade for stop entirely too late for me to care. Over in Agrabah, the carpet takes me out to the desert to deal with our next boss, Kurt Ziza. The fun fact that absolutely everyone will tell you is this boss's name is based on the winner of a contest being held just before the game's release. Kurt is a real dude who got fame to his name. Big K, it's a best friend thing, don't worry about it, starts off by silencing the party so we can't use spells. Another boss denying the use of Arrow makes me think the devs knew it was a bit of a strong spell. While he attacks with his blades, I've got to break 2 orbs that he's holding. When they break, a large amount of healing orbs will come out to top you up. Once both balls are busted, his head is next. He then shifts into phase 2 where he floats around inside a bubble using ranged attacks. The silence effect wears off though, which means magic is back on the table. Once his bubble is popped, it's back to inducing a severe concussion. But then he gets back up, silences me again, and goes all the way back to phase 1. Except now, he spins, which would be a problem, but it's really just not. So Kurt goes down and I learn Zantetsken, a combo finisher that I won't use.
Copyrighted music, I can't let it play, I'm very sorry.
Sephiroth, the nightmare himself. Every kid who played this game went through torture in this fight. He has insane reach with his attacks. He automatically retaliates after being hit too many times. Has extremely high damage AoE and multiple phases. The entire game is training for this fight. Thanks to the reach of his sword, he basically has a giant no-entry zone around him. Just going in for a hit can be really tough, but with careful jumping, you can squeeze through. But even if you like to squeeze, he's a fan of flaming pillars. A big fan, in fact. He'll spam these if you give him the chance. Bear in mind, you're allowed to use arrow in this fight, so all the damage I'm being hit with is reduced. If you don't have arrow, you are getting bullied. Also, have you noticed his health bar yet? He has so much raw health that it goes beyond what the game can normally display. You have to hit this guy for a bit before that thing even starts to budge. As a kid, I genuinely thought he was invincible and you had to hit him with ability attacks to weaken him. He's also a fan of teleporting. This unlocks you from him before he appears behind you, either to slash you or maybe just use the damn fire pillars again and again and again. Always with the fire pillars. I'm sick of the fire pillars. This is all just phase 1. If you somehow manage to bring him down a little bit, he starts using one of the meanest attacks in the entire game. Heartless Angel. He'll teleport away and begin casting magic. If you don't interrupt him quick enough, the spell will apply to you and then delete all of your MP and leave you on 1 health. If the spell goes off, the only thing left that you can really do is use an elixir to get a full restore going. If you time it right, you can even have the item activate just after the spell hits, so there isn't really any time for Sephiroth to get his hit in. But of course, stopping the spell is always better. If the long sword, long head, long list of mummy issues wasn't already doing too much, he gets faster. He'll start running and sending out his attacks more frequently. The constant teleporting can be very disorienting, especially when you're paranoid that he's going to start casting Heartless Angel. But wait, there's still more. He has his Octo Slash, which is basically Waterfowl Dance now that I think about it. It's even avoided the same way if you're really good at dodging. He also has his signature Meteor attack, a fully invincible spell where he hits you with a bunch of smaller attacks before dropping the big boy on you. Lastly, if you're still somehow alive, he'll decide to take the fight a little more seriously and buff up, adding exploding magic to his attacks, and even a new spinning anti-air move that can get you out of jumps. The quickest way to handle him is to use abilities and take advantage of iframes. Strike Ray did a lot of heavy lifting for me as a kid, and it did again now. The Oedipus complex falls, and I claim a new Keyblade. It's a very cool blade, but once again, at this stage, we've got Ultima. I imagine it's pretty good in some niche builds though, because the effect is pretty unique. Lastly, as I leave Olympus, we get to see that Cloud has also been doing some leveling up to prepare for the Platinum Cup. The final mix version added this scene. They really didn't have to, but man, am I glad they did, because this looks fantastic. If this was in the original PS2 release, we would have been going insane for this. Are you kidding me? Look at this. This is beautiful. Speaking of final mix, back at the castle where Maleficent was, there's one more hidden boss left to take on.
Ansem?
What's that supposed to mean?
This is Unknown, and while we don't learn his identity here, he is a very important figure in the second game. The Kingdom Hearts series likes to use important characters from the other games as secret bosses. Now, I'm gonna be big time honest with you. Super candid, super transparent. You don't even know I'm there, I'm so transparent. I hate this guy. I hate him so much. I loathe him. Sephiroth was difficult, but it was fun to figure out how to combat his nonsense. Unknown is nonsense dialed up to stupid. He fires out orbs that explode into large damaging areas. They also hurt a lot, if you haven't noticed. A lot. He has the dreaded Aegis Reflector. He even has lightsabers and is a big fan of teleporting around by turning into mist. This is the first time I've ever seen this fight, let alone tried it for myself. It took a few tries to figure out where I was going wrong because it just didn't seem like he had any good openings anywhere. Thankfully, this is a fight where your boys can join in, and I noticed Donald really likes using gravity in this fight. And something I've learned from playing the game so far is if your teammates are doing something, it's because it works. Sure enough, this is how you stun him and get a damage window. He doesn't like gravity. Is it a coincidence that we fight him in Maleficent's chamber place where she also didn't like gravity? Is that deliberate? Am I looking too deep into that? Now, even though this works, it's a bit tricky because he moves around a lot. Very mobile boss. And gravity is a bit slow. If this was all the fight came down to, it wouldn't be that bad at all. But of course, Unknown has a dirty move up his sleeve, something that's even worse than Sephiroth's Harvest Angel. He has a very fast grab attack that curses you. This curse will scramble your command list and deal constant ticking damage to your entire party. You break this curse by hitting the release command at the right time. But if you mess up and hit any of the shock commands, you'll lose fat chunks of health, killing yourself in the process. I'm not exaggerating, lying, being hyperbolic, or telling porkies when I tell you that every single death I suffered against this guy was due to this one attack. The command jumbling effect slows down the longer it stays active on you, but waiting isn't much of an option while he's still trying to attack you. Oh, and you know he's got extra phases where he starts doing a big long melee attack combo, as well as firing more projectiles. Since getting through this fight, I looked into it and I saw some debate over who is harder between Unknown or Sephiroth in the game, but for me it's Unknown purely because of the curse mechanic. If I get hit with Heartless Angel, I know there's a way to recover, but if the curse from Unknown hits me and I don't manage to hit the release in the first couple of seconds, I probably just consider myself dead at that point. In the end, Strike Raid came to the rescue as always. Unknown dies off with some cryptic words and an XP necklace. Finally, with everything else out of the way, man, I hope I got everything else out of the way. I'm gonna have comments saying, did you do this? Did you do that? I don't care. Finally, with everything else out of the way, I can walk through the door and confront Ansem.
Take a look at this tiny place. To the heart-seeking freedom, this island is a prison, surrounded by water. And so this boy sought out to escape from his prison. He sought a way to cross over into other worlds, and he opened his heart to darkness.
Riku!
Don't bother. Your voice can no longer reach him where he is. his heart belongs again to darkness. All worlds begin in darkness, and all so end. The heart is no different. Darkness sprouts within it. It grows, consumes it. Such is its nature. In the end, every heart returns to the darkness whence it came. You see, darkness is the heart's true essence.
That's not true! The heart may be weak, and sometimes it may even give in. But I've learned that deep down there's a light that never goes out.
So you have come this far, and still you understand nothing. Every light must fade. Every heart return to darkness.
The final boss battle, Ansem, Seeker of Darkness, is broken into many different phases, but overall he's incredibly easy when compared to all the stuff we were just doing. So I figure instead of breaking down what he does, because honestly I barely know, I just beat him to death, I'm gonna quickly tell you who this guy actually is, because he does come out of nowhere and you only really understand what the deal is if you read his journal entries that you collect throughout the game. I'll warn you now though, I'm only explaining Ansem within the context of this game, Kingdom Hearts 1, because as a lot of you out there know, there is a lot, and I mean a lot more going on outside of this game, but I'm not touching that, not here, not now, no sir. So, Ansem is a Heartless who has manipulated everyone to get to his ultimate goal, opening the door to darkness and getting Kingdom Hearts. That's right, Kingdom Hearts is a thing. It's not just the name of the game, it's an actual thing. A power source, no less, that he believes is pure darkness itself. He was the guy wearing a robe in the beginning of the game who was talking to the kids, pulling strings before eventually taking over Riku's body. So he's a body-snatching, heartless guy who has spent a lot of time trying to open this big dumb door, which required destroying many worlds to do. We saved some of them, but a lot of the others were already gone, like Beast's world for example. By locking the keyholes and stopping Ansem, the Heartless can't invade other worlds anymore. Like I said, this is a very brief explanation though on what this dude's actually doing. In truth, it is so much more than what we're seeing here. Anyway, now that Ansem is taken care of, we can... Oh, no, 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 no. What the hell is that? Why has it got a big old schlong with teeth? Well, here we are at the classic square final boss turns into a pseudo-angelic monstrosity section. They're really good at this. The boys get locked away while I bludgeon the captain of the ship. He's got a few moves, but we don't care. Beat him up. After hitting him enough, we can enter a pocket of darkness to free the goat. Next, in order to keep the video monetized and not frighten your mother, we smash the ship's dickhead. Enter the portal, save Donald, and blow it up. With the boys back, we fly into the very guts of the ship to destroy the core. This causes Ansem to be spat back out for what? Round 4? 5? Who's counting? Round who knows however many of beating him repeatedly with this blunt object. Oh yeah, before he dies, look at this cool attack he's doing. Isn't that sick? It's like the only thing I really noticed him doing in this part, but it's really cool. It's like a giant black hole singularity event that's doing nowhere near enough damage, but man, does it look cool. Anyway, he's dead now.
It is futile. The Keyblade alone cannot seal the door to darkness. Kingdom Hearts, fill me with the power of darkness. Supreme darkness.
You're wrong. I know now, without a doubt. Kingdom Hearts is light!
Light!
But why?
Come on!
Whoa! Stop staring and keep pushing! Huh?
I can't. Don't give up. Come on, Sora. Together we can do it.
Okay.
Majesty!
Now, Sora, let's close this door for good.
Close that quick!
But...
Don't worry. There will always be a door to the light.
Sora, you can trust King Mickey.
Now, they're coming.
Donald, Goofy, thank you.
Take care of her.
After sealing Riku inside the door, Sora reflects on his childhood and all the missed opportunities to break this annoying kid's nose. Oh, and Kairi's there too. Speaking of Kairi...
Kairi!
Sora!
Kairi! Remember what you said before? I'm always with you too. I'll come back to you. I promise!
I know you will!
Whoa, 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 holy shit, that is super copyrighted. No, we'll have none of that. So, with the evil door sealed shut, the worlds that were destroyed are restored, but now cut off from each other. Sora has unfinished business and doesn't go home, leaving Kairi on Destiny Islands alone, but promises to come back for her. And there we go, that's Kingdom Hearts. Honestly, the first game holds up a lot better than I thought it would. I was a little worried going into this that maybe nostalgia and my childish oohs and ahs at how great this game was would fall flat. It is showing some age in some places, like a few lackluster bosses here and there, but overall, it's still very good. I even went ahead and watched the Disney movies that were used for the worlds in this game as I was playing through them. That was fantastic, by the way. I highly recommend if you want to do a Kingdom Hearts playthrough, watch the movies as you go. That is fantastic. What a great way to do it. Small details like Belle being in the library at Hollow Bastion, for example, instead of with the other princesses, is such a nice touch, and it shows that they did kind of care about how these characters were being used. Overall, it's an absolutely insane idea for a game that shouldn't have worked, but somehow it came together. This video took, a while, alright, I'll say it that way. It took a while to put together, so I really hope you've enjoyed the ride. A big thanks to you for watching all the way through if you're seeing this now, and for everyone for being so patient while I worked on this. And this wouldn't have been possible without all the support from the Patreon and Twitch subscribers. I don't believe in gating content behind paywalls, so these people are enabling my stupidity for the sheer love of the game. Truly, again, to all of you, thank you so much. You know, I am left wondering though, what do you think those three are up to?
Pluto?
Hey, Pluto! Where have you been?
Huh?
Hey!
Gosh, that's the king's seal!
Hey, Have you seen King Mickey? Guys, let's go!
He's kidnapped and gets amnesia.